Absolutely. Ritesh, also, and coming back to the decision to drop out from the college, not many parents approve of that. In your case, obviously, I know that till very recently, your mother was not very supportive of the idea of entrepreneurship. Forget dropping out of the college. So, first of all, how did she react when you decided to drop out from the college? And why she was so averse to you turning into an entrepreneur?
I think this dropout thing, we should conclude with this one. But I'll just say two things, right? First is education ka koi compromise nahi. I think education is critical. I believe in it wholeheartedly. But when I signed for the Thiel Fellowship, the first line was, we never let university interfere with education, right? So education can be anywhere. I was getting education by being on the field. Somebody will get education by being in their own respective segment or field of interest. But really what matters is, are you pursuing education or not? So I think that, and university is a great way to access it, but there are many other ways of accessing education. Coming to my parents, I have just two thoughts to share. First is, when young entrepreneurs are starting their business, they say, how will I convince my parents, my wife, my cousins, and so on? So I always say, before you convince your customers, you should convince your own family. If you can't convince, your family has to be your first investor. So I did my best. I could convince my father, mom partly. We come from a small town where essentially the perspective is that if you have to leave this little town and do anything better in life and get to a reasonable middle income lifestyle, the only way to do it is getting a college degree. That's what my parents had known. So that's probably one of the reasons why, my mom thought that I should get a degree. In 2016, Honorable Prime Minister, when he was launching Startup India, he said, by looking at Ritesh, I feel like, why did a tea seller not think about hotels as an idea? I think, from that time on, she's never challenged this perspective of dropping out. So I keep telling her that she had a very high threshold of getting convinced that entrepreneurship was a good decision. But, that's the country we live in a country where even at the highest leadership, people are wanting to pursue young people to become entrepreneurs. As Mr. Vaidyanathan was saying, that India needs new engines of growth, and everyone in the country believes that now.